Hello, this is Doug Tidwell. I was recently sitting in my corner office, admiring the scenery through my floor-to-ceiling windows when I received an email from Jeremy Morrison of Hampshire, England. Jeremy writes, Dear Doug, I feel like I'm just sitting here watching the world of containers pass me by. Can you please help me get started? I'm updating my CV and would love to put Docker and Kubernetes on there. Cheers, Jeremy Morrison, Romsey, Hampshire. Jeremy, thanks for your email. We're happy to help. Because containers are such a big topic, we'll divide this into 2 videos. Today, we'll install tools and work with Docker locally. Next week, we'll take the Docker image you create today, push it into the IBM cloud, then deploy it into a Kubernetes cluster. By the time we're done, you'll be ready to dazzle your current or future employer with your containerific skills. We'll start by cloning this GitHub repo. This is the simple Node app we've used in other videos, but this repo contains a Docker file that packages the app as a Docker image. As always, read the terms and conditions before you clone the code, then switch to the cloned directory. Now that we've got the code, we'll install the Docker and Bluemix tools we'll need. It'll take a couple of minutes, but once we've done this, we're set and we won't have to do it again. But first, by law, any discussion of containers must include a picture of a cargo ship loaded down with containers. We've spiced that up a bit and ultimately decided to do away with the containers altogether. We hope you enjoyed this compulsory diversion. Off to the web to install the tools now. We'll install the Bluemix command line first. Go to this URL, click the download link, then click the link for the latest version. The Bluemix and Docker tools work the same way, whether you're on Windows, Linux, or the Mac, by the way. When the download is finished, the install works as you'd expect it to for your platform. You may get a message saying you have to restart your machine. If that's the case, wait until you've installed all the tools before restarting. Now it's time to install Docker. Head to docker.com and download and install the Community Edition. The installs use the usual methods for the different platforms. At this point, you should have the Bluemix command line and Docker installed, and if necessary, you've restarted your machine. The command to work with Bluemix is Bluemix. I can hear you thinking, 7 characters! I could just die! Fear not, friend. We've abbreviated the command to BX. You'll find this shortcut will give you several hours a day of extra time to be productive. You're welcome. So it's command time. First, use the Bluemix login command to authenticate yourself. Once you're logged in, you need to install the command line plugins for the container service and the container registry. So type bx plugin install container-service-r Bluemix, then bx plugin install container-registry-r Bluemix to install the 2 plugins. Speaking of Docker, if you're on Windows or the Mac, use the icon to start Docker. For Linux, you probably use the system control command, although your distribution may be different. And you'll have to wait a few seconds before the Docker service is up and running. Finally, type bxcr login so you can access Docker images in the public registry in the IBM Cloud. Before we build our Docker image, let's take a look at the Docker file. The first line, the from command, tells Docker that we're basing our image on the latest node runtime from the IBM Cloud. When we build the Docker file, Docker will download this image, if it hasn't been downloaded already, then run the rest of the commands in the file. In a nutshell, the rest of the file creates a working directory, installs the npm packages our app needs, exposes port 6006, copies all of our code into the working directory, and tells Docker that node app.js is the command to run when we create a container from the image. So go to the command line and build a Docker image by typing docker build -t basic app :v1 dot. The -t gives this image a tag. That's how we'll refer to the image later. The image will be named basic app, and we're calling this version v1. The dot tells Docker to look for the Docker file in the current directory. The first time you run this command, it will take a few minutes as Docker downloads the node runtime from the IBM Cloud. When you run the command again, it will most likely only take a few seconds because the runtime has already been downloaded. And now the moment you've been waiting for. Let's create a Docker container with our new image. Simply type docker create basic app :v1. You'll get a long hex string that identifies the container. But how do we access the container? We'll do that through the magic of the awesome Kitematic tool. Go to the menu bar on the Mac or the system tray on Windows to launch Kitematic. You'll have to install Kitematic separately on Windows. Be sure to follow the instructions carefully. Now let's go to Kitematic. On the left is a list of our containers. Each one has a randomly generated name. Click on the name, then click the Start button. Now the app is running, but we need to access it. To set that up, go to the Settings menu in the upper right, go to the Ports tab, and assign a port number on your local machine. This maps the port we exposed in the Docker file to a port on the local machine. We'll go with 32008, but it can be any unused port. Click Save, then go to a browser and open that URL. You should see the always exciting version of your app, only now it's been containerized and is running like a charm. A final note, Kitematic isn't available on Linux at this time, but we highly recommend Portainer. Visit portainer.io for setup instructions. Jeremy, I hope you're feeling better about your container skills now. It's taken a few minutes to get everything set up, but now that you have the Docker and Bluemix tools installed, you can containerize your own applications and run them in Docker. Next time, we'll take that a step further by creating a Kubernetes cluster, uploading your Docker image to the IBM Cloud, and running that image inside the cluster. But that's enough for now. Thanks again for your email, and we'll see you again soon with another episode of the developerWorks Mailbag. This longer than usual episode has been brought to you commercial-free by developerOS, the official breakfast cereal of the developerWorks Mailbag.